Howdy folks, thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you stopping by today. And yes, I've taken a couple of weeks off after the holidays, after the first of the year. Yeah, just because I didn't want to have to wear one of those special white jackets with the extra long sleeves. You know the ones. But feeling good, everything's great, and ready to kick off 2021. And what better way to do that, well, than with a new pedal. Well, truth be told, I've added a few new things to the studio, all in an effort to improve the quality of the videos, to improve your viewing experience. Things like a second camera, which you'll be seeing. All the shots staring down at the pedal board are from my new, my second Lumix G85, and as well as when you hear the tone samples, it'll be going through, well, an amplifier that I think I'll use the PV Classic 20, but it'll all be running through my new Torpedo Captor X from Two Notes. So again, just trying to improve things, all in an effort to hopefully convince you to, click that subscribe button down there, help me out, and, ring the bell for notifications, like, share, comment, anything you can do would be much appreciated. But let's go ahead and move on to the pedal. So here we go. I've got it on the pedal board. Let's take a look. And there it is, in all of its teal glory, with the tempo LED flashing at you. And before I get started describing the controls here, I do want to point out real quickly that I give huge kudos to Electro-Harmonix, because this, like, I don't know if it's all of their pedals, but at least a number of them come with a power supply already in the box. You don't have to worry about your power supply issues. It's got one there. And even if you're using a brick to power all your pedals, it's always nice to have extra power supplies sitting around. So again, kudos to Electro-Harmonix. But let's go ahead and talk about the individual controls. I'll use my little pointer and I'll turn my phone off. How about that? So as we look at it again, you see you have the LED for your tempo, but there's also your on and off LED. So we turn it on, and that is nice and bright enough so you can see it on your pedal board. You know your pedal is on. But let's go ahead and start talking about from top moving down. Let's talk about the toggle switches. Over here, you switch between your vibrato and your chorus. So now, does that mean that you can only have vibrato or chorus? Well, no, I'll go through that later. Over here we have the toggle switch for the rate and depth. Now this is going to act in a couple of different ways. First off, if you look over here, you will see a jack for an expression pedal. So if you have the expression pedal in, if you have this toggle switch in rate, you're going to be able to adjust the tempo with your pedal. And if you have it in depth, you're going to be able to adjust, how much of the effect you want in there. It's basically, it's a way to control this knob here, but I'll talk about the knobs in a moment. However, without the expression pedal, the switch does something else, which deals with this knob right here, the envelope knob. So that's a perfect segue to go ahead and move over to the knobs. Starting here, you have your volume and tone pretty self-explanatory there. And then these two knobs, both of which are notched in the middle, which basically in the middle, they're neutral. They're not really affecting anything. But as you turn them either right or left, they do their thing. So let's go ahead and talk about the shape knob. That's controlling the sine wave. Straight up and down, you have a nice, smooth sine wave. However, when you turn it to the left or to the right, it's going to take the smooth, symmetrical sine wave and make it, well, asymmetrical, and give a little character to that envelope, if you will, that sine wave. And speaking of envelope, that's this knob here, and it's pretty cool because, again, going back to the toggle switch, depending on whether you have it on rate or depth, if you turn it to the left or to the right, it's going to affect when the vibrato or the chorus kicks in. It's using the dynamics of your playing. So hitting a heavier or a harder note, it will delay the effect kicking in for a brief amount of time and then slowly bring it up or slowly take it out. It does some cool stuff. I'll demonstrate that a wee bit here in just a minute. Let's move on over rate and depth. Again, very self-explanatory. However, going back over here to the switch between vibrato and chorus, vibrato alone, well, no issues. But if you're in chorus and you just want chorus with no vibrato, you would turn the rate pretty much all the way down, and you're just controlling your chorus with the depth knob, how intense you want that chorus to be. However, as you turn the rate knob up, it's going to blend in vibrato to the signals. So pretty cool. I've been having a lot of fun playing with it. And this is probably a good point to just go ahead and pick up the guitar, give you a few brief tone samples. Let's go ahead and start out with the vibrato. I've got a nice little setting dialed in, nothing too radical, just a simple vibrato. That's kind of nice, but well, let's go ahead and check it out. What everything does. I'm going to go ahead. I had a little bit to the right, maybe a little bit more than just a little bit to the right on the shape setting. Let's pull it back to the center. But let's see what happens when we take it well past halfway to the left. You can hear how that gets a little asymmetrical, it gets a little bit of a hitch in it, I guess you'd call it. Go the same direction to the right. Alright, let's go ahead and pull that back to the center. And of course, you can add a whole lot more depth to it, to where to me, when you get up in this range, it becomes so much less musical. I'm I'm not saying it's not usable, but it has to be in the right context, in the right mix, and it's there if you need it. So let's bring it back more to the realm of sanity, and let's go ahead and explore the envelope. Now, with no expression pedal hooked in, you're going to find straight up and down, it's not doing anything. However, let's pull it back to about 9 o'clock to the left. You hear how it starts with no vibrato when you hit it hard. And if you add depth to it, as opposed to turning it to the right, now that's with it set in the rate setting over here on this toggle switch. If you hit depth, it starts out really radical, really heavy duty on the depth, and then mellows out, whereas turning it to the left. Now I like that one. That's kind of nice. I like that. So that's a fairly brief overview of the vibrato setting. Let's go ahead and move over to the chorus. Switching over now to chorus, I've just dialed in a basic chorus, just the chorus, no tremolo. Nice enough. Now, of course, if we go up on the depth, let's go ahead, pull that back, and let's take our shape knob, let's turn it most of the way to the left. You can hear what it's doing there. Let's go to the right. And again, this is just manipulating the low frequency oscillator. Now that I kind of like. That's kind of a nice sound. All right, so again, and I'm assuming, I haven't really played with it, but on the envelope knob, you're going to get the same kind of effects on the chorus setting as you will the vibrato setting. But now, if you take the rate knob and turn it up, let's come back a little bit on the depth. Take the rate knob, let's get a little bit more off the depth. I really like that. I really like that a lot. So there's just a few tone samples to, just to give you an idea. I like this pedal for, I think I paid right at $100 for it. And considering that it comes with a power supply, I think it's a pretty good deal. I think it's a pedal I'm glad I bought. You may want one too. However, I'm going to set the guitar down, and I'm going to move in just a little bit closer, because there are two things about this pedal that kind of bother me. One, I'm not even sure if I'm going to get a good example of it in the recording, but I can tell you in the room, it is a little bit noisy compared to all the other pedals on my pedal board. When I kick this thing on, it adds some hiss to the signal. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it is a little bit annoying. There is one other thing. If you look at, and I'll put it back up here on the screen so you can see, these knobs are not really big, and they are not really spread out very well, and they are kind of stiff. Therefore, making adjustments on the fly can be a little difficult. This row of knobs should have been moved down at least 1/4 of an inch. It would make the knobs much more accessible. Just a little recommendation, but who am I to tell Electro-Harmonix what to do? I'm just saying it's been a little frustrating for me, and it's really the one thing about the pedal that I just absolutely do not like. So that's my assessment. I hope you enjoyed this demo, if you will. It's whatever it is. And other than that, please subscribe, ring the bell, like, share, comment, all that. And above all else, be good. Let's all just be good. Take care.